Happy Friday, everyone. How are you doing today? How is your day? I'm hoping that you're doing great. So, thank you so much for joining me on this episode and a very warm welcome. So, yesterday, Kate Middleton had an engagement or made a visit, and everything about the engagement was just a disaster from start to finish. And in this video, I'm going to take you through what actually happened and people's reaction to Kate Middleton's behavior or how she looked. So, first of all, Kate made a visit to Shriji Dham Haveli Hindu temple. Before I go into what actually happened inside the temple, let me first talk about what happened when she arrived at the venue. So, this was Kate arriving at the place, and as you can see, the video clearly shows her arriving there, and there was literally no one to even welcome her, or the crowds that the UK media would love to say usually welcome members of the royal family. Kate was all by herself talking to one person who was literally standing there. And I remember the last time Kate and William were actually on an engagement, there were school children who were bussed to that place so that they could greet Kate and Prince William and pretend like the crowd was so huge. In fact, someone like Cameron Walker went on to hype saying that the crowd that came to see Prince William and Kate in Wales was so huge that they had never seen such a huge crowd since the coronation. Yet the crowd they were talking about was school children, children who were being rained on. And now you can see that without busing school children to the places where these people go, members of the public clearly do not seem interested in them. No one comes there to see them. In fact, most of the times the barriers are always empty. And now for Kate's case, you can see that she was there only speaking to one person. And I even saw another video of her walking the streets, and people just seemed like they didn't care at all that this is the next Queen of England. People are just busy going on about their activities. And one person even said, when school children don't get involved, this is how packed the royal welcome audience is. People going on about their day. Exactly. No one was even taking pictures of Kate or looking like they were very interested to see her there. And someone else said, now one realizes the royal family's desperate need of busing young children out of school during freezing winter rain because the crowd of involuntary children is the only one Kate and William get most times. As the monarchy becomes more desperate, the more reckless they are. Yeah, they are very desperate. That is why they are using children. And without those children, no one actually comes to see these royals. So, yeah, this is the true face of the monarchy when they don't bring the children. Anyway, apart from that, Kate also did something in the temple that has led to people having a lot of questions on social media. So, inside there, Kate participated in a dance. And obviously, the UK media just praised how good this was and what Kate said about her kids. In fact, let me just read you one headline from Hello Magazine saying, Princess Kate slips off her heels and goes barefoot in unexpected royal moment. So they were praising that Kate removed her shoes and danced. But what they didn't talk about is how Kate looked very much unkempt. In fact, her feet, oh my god, these aren't the feet that I would expect from someone who is being funded by taxpayer money, someone who receives almost everything, yet her feet look like this. So yeah, these were Kate's feet when she removed her shoes. What do you think about it? Because myself, when I first saw it, I was like, oh my god, there's no way someone who lives in a palace, a whole princess, is actually looking like this. It's like she doesn't even have a nail cutter or just something to remove the dirt from her toenails. They look so bad. I don't think there's even an excuse for the way that Kate's feet actually looked. And I know some people will be like, oh, please stop criticizing her feet. But then remember, there are people who never give Meghan a break. If this was Meghan who actually appeared this way, or which Meghan would never actually do that, some people would have a field day. They would be dissecting every toenail. So yeah, how about we do the same for Kate Middleton? And of course, people had a lot of opinions concerning this because we just can't understand why a whole princess, the next Queen of England, would come to an engagement looking like this. I think it would have been better for her to even wear maybe socks, yeah, tiny socks to just cover her feet because they just looked disgusting. And let me just take you through some people's comments. For example, one person said, and did Fox talk about Meghan's toes, and I don't think they looked like this ever. Again, Kate has too much money and access to the best services to have dry hands and unkempt feet. Yeah, she has access to too much services, actually. And if she can't get someone to do her nails and her toe and her feet, then she should do it herself. But it seems like she's even too lazy to do that. And remember, this isn't the first time we're seeing Kate actually appearing like this. There was even a time last year, or was it early? No, it was early this year when she did an engagement and her hands were just so dry, they were cracking as if she isn't even oiling them or applying moisturizer on them. So, no, this isn't what we expect from the next Queen of England. And someone else is like, what's with the curled toes? The Rangers have the gall to talk about Meghan's feet. Exactly. Some people actually have the audacity to talk about Meghan when Meghan always looks presentable. She always looks so good. But when it comes to their beloved Kate Middleton, they have nothing to say, right? And someone else is like, that's just nasty. Yeah, that is nasty. And they even added a vomiting emoji. Yeah, that is the reaction that I think most people actually got by looking at this. And someone else, I'm beginning to wonder if she even has a makeup artist or hairstylist or someone to do her nails. I'm thinking all that's been taken away. I mean, even if her budget has been cut, then she can still do it herself. She doesn't need anyone to maintain her toenails or her fingers. That is literally one's responsibility. And another person is like, with all the money they got from us as a pay raise, and this woman can't afford the time to have her nails done. And now this, but plenty of time of hairdresser, extensions, or else. Well, even those extensions still look very much hideous. None of them looks good. So someone actually needs to help Kate Middleton because her situation is clearly just crying out for help. And another person commented saying, manicure and pedicures are not available in England. Well, I think they are available. Kate Middleton just doesn't want to do it. And another person was like, there is really no excuse for the future Queen of England to have hands and feet that look like gross and uncared for. Lotion isn't expensive, nail clippers aren't expensive, cuticle scissors aren't expensive, basic hygiene isn't expensive. Her feet are atrocious, but somehow I just know that no one briefed Kate about the fact that she'd be going inside a temple and would likely need to take off her heels because no self respecting person would allow their feet to look like this if that were the case. Exactly. I think if she actually did some research on what people do in the temple or these dances or even how people remove their shoes, then she would have known to prepare herself early. But people like Prince William and Kate Middleton never prepare themselves before going on an engagement because most of the time it's always for PR. That is why she was caught off guard. And I know Meghan wouldn't be found in such a situation. Meghan is always prepared. Even when she visits a place, she at least makes sure to learn their culture and what is done there. But for someone like Prince William and Kate, they never come prepared to an event. That is why they are always caught off guard and they end up embarrassing themselves. And apparently, also in 2016, the Daily Mail had called out Kate's feet. They called out how unkempt it looked. And this was the article saying, Cons, clawed toes, bunions, and fallen arches, how the Duchess has ruined her feet by wearing high heels and pointy shoes as she goes barefoot at the Gandhi Museum. So they were giving an excuse about how she had ruined her feet by wearing high heels. Well, I understand that high heels can actually maybe damage one's feet, but it is your responsibility to take care of them. You need to at least cut your toenails, just make sure they look good. And that doesn't even take like 1 hour to do. That is literally something that can take you like 15 minutes. So Kate has no excuse for appearing this way at an event, especially at the temple where people remove their shoes. And this just demonstrates how lazy Kate is, especially even at taking care of herself. And you can imagine, this is the only discussion that people are having about Kate's visit to the temple. I mean, something better could have come out of this. But the fact that Kate went there looking very much unkempt has overshadowed the entire visit. Now people are talking about her very hideous feet. She should just wash them or at least hire someone to do that because I'm sure it isn't even that expensive. So I don't know about you all. What do you think about Kate's very hideous feet and how there was literally no crowd to even welcome her at that venue? So I'd love to know what you think about this, and I'll see you on the next episode. Have a wonderful time and a wonderful weekend. Goodbye.